Morning, guys. So day number 2, going well so far. Today I'm posting 2 things. One, I'm going to talk about Politico, a political article that discusses Facebook, Google, Twitter, their interaction with the White House right now, and their decision to work with the White House and work with the government to help track the coronavirus spread. And so that's the first article I posted. I encourage you to read through it. And I also encourage you to really actually pay attention to some differences here, because the second article that I'm going to post is actually about a company called Clearview AI. And while I have not always agreed with everything that Google, Facebook, Twitter, like our big social media tech giants have done, I can say that I do think that there are some pretty marked differences between a company like Google, like Facebook, like Twitter, and a company like Clearview AI. And I want to just talk a little bit about some of the differences this morning. So as you're reading these articles, then we can also think about properly permissioned data. And again, it comes down to choice, guys. We should have the choice. So while companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter don't give you the choice right now, they do actually tell you that they're collecting data. They do actually publish privacy reports. You can go online and search for Google's privacy report, for Facebook's privacy report. You can see how many times the government has subpoenaed them and requested data from them, specifically about individual people. And you can also see from the Politico article that I posted that these massive companies, they have some concern about government overreach, that they also, the difference is they're concerned about government overreach. They also, they're anonymizing your data. So they're pushing back and they're saying, hey, we don't want to give individual level data, right? We don't want to track each individual person. What we do is give you anonymized data so that we can track spread of the virus, trends of it. And I think that there are different ways you can use data, both good and bad. And so I think, data can be used in a way that can be very helpful. And anonymized data is one of those ways, as long as it's properly permissioned, which it's not all of right now, but you can use that information to actually help in these situations, and you should be able to use that. And I think that there are really big differences between these companies. Again, I don't agree with everything they do, but there's a big difference between anonymized data that can help track trends versus singling somebody out and personally tracking them. And that's what Clearview AI does. Clearview AI did not properly permission the data. They didn't even tell anybody that they were doing this, that they were collecting people's data. They literally scraped websites and they took your pictures, they took your images, they took anything that was technically public, but they didn't tell you that they were taking it. They didn't tell you how it was going to be used. They told you nothing about it whatsoever. They just popped up one day and started scraping the internet for your face. And you've used that to allow governments and law enforcement and private companies to find who you are, to pick you out in a crowd just by your face. And so Clearview AI also is in talks with the White House right now to talk about how people that have coronavirus can be tracked. Big differences here, guys. Big difference between anonymized data to track trends and companies that are pushing back right now and saying, let's not track individual data, let's track anonymized data to help, versus, hey, let's single out this person. And so I think that as we go into the weekend and we go into further into this, because this is going to last for a little while, let's think about companies that are doing this well and companies that aren't doing this well. And I'd have to tell you that Clearview AI is not one that's doing well. So next week we're going to have a couple of people in that will talk a little bit more about data privacy and talk a little bit more about how data that is collected, anonymized, right, and hopefully properly permissioned as we get better and better at properly permissioning our data, they'll talk about ways that it can be helpful. So I'm looking forward to it. Have a great weekend and a good Friday.